So welcome back, guys, to another episode in the 1 Copper to 1 Million Gold series. This is episode 3 and we are back to it. The first thing that we will do this episode is go and check our mailbox. Now, I did already take a little peek in here, and as you can see, we have just under 14,000. So based on the 2 hours of farming that we did at Serenite and Cobalt, that's really good. Obviously there's the addition of whatever else we got on our way, but I'm pretty happy with this. There's obviously a good amount of expires, but something that we do have to take notice of is that the actual bars is something that sells well. The ore form is not good, but the bars are really good. And we have Titan steel bars here specifically, and you can see that these sold, but we did not sell the titanium bars, which means that we need to get more Eternals so we can make more Titan steel. So we got to do more Serenite, and also because we are out of Serenite and we are out of Cobalts. So both of those are completely sold out. Something I did want to do this episode was get some other content leveled up. But what we are going to do first is we are going to restock the 2 different materials that we know for a fact are going to sell, because we know it works. So we'll start that first, and then we'll continue onwards to other projects. But first we will do 1 hour of Serenite, and we'll do 1 hour of Cobalt, and we will be using the same routes as we did in the last episode. If you guys have not watched that, I would recommend going and checking out the playlist for this series. But as just a little helper to you guys, I have both routes up on screen. The one for Serenite is going to be in Ice Crown, and the one for Cobalt is going to be in Howling Fjord. And what we are going to do is we're going to go do that, and then when I'm done, I'll come back to you guys and we will handle what materials we have, or potentially put it in our bank. I will be back then. And then after those 2 hours, the plan is to go back and level classic mining first, because that is the one that we have currently, and we could also obviously go for the others, but I do want to try the Arcane Crystal market on this server. So we are gonna level up classic mining and get to that level. So we have to get around 200, and then we can start getting the correct amount of Thorium and the correct amount of Arcane Crystals. But for now, I will go out and spend an hour on Serenite and an hour on Cobalt, and then I'll be right back with you guys. So, your boy has farmed 2 hours of Cobalt and Serenite, and you can see what we have in here. The plan we have currently, as you can see what our level is up here, we are level 38. And we are 37% into level 38. The plan that I have currently is that I want to get to level 40 before we head back, because when we do get to level 40, we can buy the fastest flying, and then we will continue our adventures of farming something else. So I'll be going over to farm some more. I think I'm gonna farm some more Serenite, because in terms of time, that is quicker, because we get more veins, more deposits, and also because there's more actual markets that we can enter into because of titanium ore. So that is the plan. So we'll be moving over there, and we'll do Serenite farming pretty much until we hit level 40. And then we'll be returning to Stormwind to turn what we have as bars and materials and whatnot. We'll turn that into what we need it for, and then we'll look at posting it on the auction house as we go hunting for Arcane Crystals, because that is the next plan for what we are going to farm, what we are going to level up. That is classic mining. So we'll see how much we can get done of that after we are done here. But I will see you guys in a second when that is done. So this definitely took a little longer than expected. We didn't get as many spawns as I was hoping for, but we are level 40. As you can see, we got the level 40 right there. We are going to Stormwind, and we are getting ourselves the fastest find we can. I think it's gonna cost me like 4,000 or 5,000 gold, something like that. And then we will be turning everything into bars, and whatever else we can post on the auction house we will be posting. And then the plan is, before we start the next episode, I will have mining leveled up to around 200, where we can get thorium, or where we can, okay, 4,750, good. So the reason I wanted to around 200 is because when we get to that point, we're going to get the right amount of thorium, and we are also going to get the right amount of arcane crystals, which is definitely something that we do want, since they are very good. This took a little longer than expected to get to this level, so it is our farming time for today. But let's look at what we can do with the auction house first. So what we'll do first is we will take what we are not going to sell, and we are going to vendor it. We already have some things marked here that are going out of our inventory. The rest we are going to keep. So when it comes to crystallized things in terms of Eternals, we actually got a good amount of Eternals, and I'm pretty happy with the amount, because we are going to use these, at least 3 of them, for the Titan Steel bars. The others we can pretty much just turn them into, we can pretty much sell them on the auction house. One thing is, though, we only have 3 Eternal Fires, so if we were going to make more, we could use the trader that is in Dalaran, but as of right now, we don't need to make more. There we go, that is done. So we are going to fly over to the Dwarven district here and check out what we have in the mail, because we did post a little something at the start of the episode, and we are going to check what sold and what did not sell. I'd imagine that there's some of it that definitely hasn't sold, but that is also completely okay. We should actually sell these. There we go. Let's check. We have another nothing in here. Moan Octobus went for nothing. That is actually probably a mistake, but that is completely okay. Let's do that right there. These transmog pieces, I find it very hard to actually decide on if they're gonna sell or not, but I'll keep posting them for now. So we'll make the 3 Titan Steel bars here, and then we will turn we'll make the titanium here as well, because we don't want to sell the ore. There's no point in selling the ore, because it's worth almost nothing. But we are also going to smelt our serenite, and we are going to smelt our cobalts, and when that is done, I will be back with you guys, which will be right here in a second because of editing magic. Alright, we have now smelted everything that we wanted, so let's move over to the auction house here. So something to take notice of is the fact that we're actually moving quickly up to the levels that we want to be at, and 40 is, you know, right now 10 levels from max level, so that's really good. We're basically getting to the point in the expansion where we are very close to max level. The plan is to, before this is not gonna work, before, what do you call it, Shadowlands comes out, we will be trying our best to make max level. Obviously, since we're going to be farming, actual leveling will be a little slower than what you normally would expect through questing and dungeoning and whatnot, but we are going to be gathering tons of gold in the meantime, so I'm pretty happy about that. Something we are not going to do is we are not going to post all of our eternal herbs and eternal shadows, because I do not want to sell out on these if we are going to use more for Titan Steel. So for now, we'll only post like half of them. We'll keep the crystallized versions in our bags. Post these as well. We gotta get the cloth up there, and we'll keep that. Okay, so we currently have, didn't work, there we go, refreshed. We currently have 34, almost 35,000 on the auction house, which is, honestly, for the amount of time that we've been farming, this is pretty good. We have currently 9,258 in the bags, so we could be looking at the auction house real quick. Something we could take a look at is ore, and we can quickly take a look at some of the most used ores that we're probably going to be taking an interest in, and I will mark them, and then I'll tell you guys why. And there's a lot of different reasons that we could be going for all these different ones, for flipping reasons and turning them into bars to flip them through that, but I will talk about that as we go for it. Currently we are picking apart a lot of them. I don't think, yeah, we're good. So currently we have adamantite ore, ghost iron ore, laystone ore, obsidian ore, fel iron ore, adamantium ore, cobalt ore. So these ones are basically the most used ones, and then we also are going to take ourselves a peek at the arcane crystal on the server, and we'll do enchanted elementium bar. The reason that we're taking a look at all of these is because these are the items that we are going to be making, farming, flipping. Something like this right here with the adamantite, we can see that these the market value on the server is actually 4 gold 20, or 4 gold 12 silver. And if we take a look at the adamantite bar, that one is going for 9 gold 50 silver, and it's around 10 gold. And then there's obviously also the hardened one, but hardened adamantite is probably what we're going to go for, so I'll mark these two as well. But we will be taking all of this that is going for less than that, and we'll try to resell it at the 4 gold 60. Besides that, we'll take the ghost iron bars. Something I also want to look at is a trillium ore, and also the bar itself. And the reason that all these are interesting is because they're used for a lot of things in profession. Some are used for crafted transmog, some are used for items that people want. Something like the cobalt ore is used for Jeeves selling, but you can make for engineering. You take something like a laystone ore. This one particularly is used for the auto hammers in Legion that are probably also going to be used in Shadowlands. And you take something like adamantite, fel iron, and also eternium. Actually, eternium ores and bars are important. You can see that the people are posting these for pretty low prices. Actually, we could turn these into bars. So something that you turn fel iron bars and eternium ore into is you turn it into fel steel bars, and there's actually usually a pretty good profit on these. So when we do get to Outland, this is something that we would be able to do, and that is actually pretty cheap. So we'll be taking our hands on that. Let's see if there's anything else. Fel iron bars, these are not necessarily that cheap, but let's take a look at the actual bars as well. They're 32 gold, so that isn't much of a difference. We would probably just be looking at whenever we do get into it. We'll look at it. And then we have the elementium bar, and the reason we're only doing mining for now is because that's the profession that we're focusing on. So everything that we can minimize the risk with is what we're going for, right? So we're taking things that we can benefit from through our profession, which means we lower the risk on investments, and which is something we definitely want to do. So looking at this, we have pretty much every single ore and bar version. We'll also take the obsidian bar. I don't imagine that the obsidian ore and the obsidian bars are going to be doing good, but we'll check that out as we get into it. But overall, these prices are actually pretty decent. But let us take our adamantite here and the eternium ore, and for now we can post it on the auction house and see if it sells for that higher price. It might, and if it doesn't, we'll use it in our professions. So this puts us at a little bit higher of a total value, 43,783, but that is it. That is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We went a little bit into flipping here. Very, 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 very small amount. Obviously, we do not have very much gold to actually play with. So for now, we're going to have to keep it small. We're going to have to keep it safe, and we're going to have to keep it in our professions. But as I said before, the plan is to level mining up to around 200 before the next episode, so we can start farming arcane crystals as we go. I will obviously be starting next week's episode with the auction house first, and then I'll show off what we got from the actual leveling of classic mining, which isn't going to be very much. but then we'll be continuing with that. If you guys did like the episode, remember to leave a like on the video, and also if you guys ever have any questions, you can always put them down in the comments below. I will see you guys next week for the next week's episode. If you guys have any questions about anything I did, you can also ask about it on my live stream, which is going to be in around 2 hours after this is posted. There is a link for my stream down below in the description, twitch.tv/Santival. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!